Does Cam Heyward still hold the same value that he once did? Should the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to do business with Cam Heyward and maybe bring him back for an extension? And is he worth that money that he is due this season? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Something's been bothering me here, and I wanted to talk about it here on a Thursday on the channel, and that is the Cameron Heyward situation. And I know there's been a lot talked about with Cam Heyward this offseason. Oh, he's going to go here. He's going to go there. Should he retire? Should the Steelers cut his salary? Should the Steelers ink him to a new extension to allow him the luxury of finishing his career with one team, a one-hat type guy? Should the Steelers do that? And should they be interested in that? I think the answer is a little bit of both. And yes, the Steelers need to tread water lightly here and be really cautious with Cam Heyward. 35, again, guys, 35 in the position that he plays is getting up there. And you're in the trenches and you're taking on heavy impacts and you're taking heavy abuse each season. And I feel that Cam throughout his career has been relatively healthy, so we can't argue that. He's had an amazing career with the Pittsburgh Steelers thus far. A guy that's had 647 total tackles, 404 of those being solo tackles. A guy that has had 80 and a half sacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's pretty big, man. He ranks second on the all-time list for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What about bringing him back? Should the Steelers think to themselves, hey, man, this guy's been a solid veteran for us. We want him to be here, his leadership qualities, but is that enough? The leadership, is that just enough to get him over to where you want to keep him, 2025, 2026? Is that enough for the Pittsburgh Steelers? And how should they make up a deal here to keep Cam Heyward? You want to keep Cam healthy because he is that leader. He is that presence in the locker room. That guy that has been with one team his whole entire career. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you look at it, though, as a guy that is aging out, a guy that had limited production in 2023 due to injury, and is he going to be able to overcome that? That's what you're looking at right now with the Steelers. You're not looking at what Cam did for you in the past. Yes, there is some sort of loyalty factor. There is some sort of, factor involved where you say to yourself, we got to, we'll take care of this guy. He's been with us, and he's rode with us for a long time, and if we potentially have a window open for success, we'd like him to be a part of that success and earn him a piece of Steelers history. Yes, we would like to do that. But if you're the Steelers and you look at the money and the financial side of it, the age, the production, the injuries, it becomes really a clouded picture for the Steelers, in my opinion. Well, maybe not clouded. If it's anybody else but Cam Heyward, you dump them probably. At that age, with that injury history, that type of salary, you probably move on if it's not Cam Heyward. And me personally, I think Cam is one of my all-time favorite Steelers. I feel like he is not only special on the field, but I think he is special off the field, and I think that plays big dividends for me. He does it all, and I'm appreciative of that. But will the Pittsburgh Steelers, as a franchise, doing business, will they feel the same way when you're getting down to the nuts and bolts of the financial situation? And I'm not sure if they do. Do $16.4 million this season. Is Cam going to figure out a way to rework this deal in a way that possibly the Steelers take on some money this year or next year and really front-end load a deal? And maybe be able to have some outs with Cam in 2026, 2027 maybe, or 2025, whatever may have you down the road a little bit, having the Steelers the ability to get out of this deal a little bit to where it wouldn't be very hard or difficult or a financial burden if they were to part ways. Do the Steelers wait until 2024 plays out and see? Does he stay healthy? How's the production level? Is he willing to maybe take a little bit less money in order to, stay with the Steelers? Is he willing to maybe sacrifice, $3 or $4 million and stay with the team on an $8, $9 million, $10 million salary for, a year or two? Again, backload that salary or front load that salary and have a back end to where you can get out of it. Yes, that's awesome. But Cam Heyward, is he worth it? That is the major question, guys, and it's been bothering me so bad because I'm so big on Cam Heyward as a fan. I'm so vested in him as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan that watches every single week, and it is hard to separate that if you are a fan, and I think it becomes hard if you're a franchise that values loyalty like the Steelers do, and you've had Cam around this building for so long. He's been around these guys, Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, forever, guys, around Mr. Rooney forever. It's hard to remember what life was without Cam Heyward, and that's where I think this all gets jumbled up and to where it becomes hard to make that decision. That's where I think that things start to take a turn when you're trying to figure this out. But if the Steelers and Omar Khan stay the course, business sense wise, I think that they probably wait and see how 2024 plays out. That's how I think this thing goes. I think they allow this season to start to play out, and I think they watch what he's going to be able to bring and how this production is going to be and how his health is going to be. Is he going to be riddled by injury again? I think that's how they allow this thing to go. I don't foresee any type of extension happening right now in terms of making a move to maybe readjust his value here, because I don't think he's really willing to do that. I think you could adjust his value and alleviate some of his cap hit and still pay him his money and still get him that $16.4 million and make some room. But that would be the only situation that I could see any type of money being moved around. You would still have to pay Cam. He's not going to take a pay cut off that $16.4 million. But, yeah, Cam's a guy that deserves that money, honestly. He's been here. You need to let him finish out that deal, or at least make sure he gets that money if you're going to adjust it in any way, shape, or form. And I wouldn't see that as a problem if it were me. If I was Cam Heyward and I was looking at it, and I would say to myself, hey, as long as I'm getting it, I don't care how it comes, in the form of a bonus or, spread out. I don't care. As long as I get that $16.4 million, and that is guaranteed, no doubt about it. I wouldn't sacrifice that if I was Cam. That's your last year. That's your last probably big monster payday, And I don't blame him for wanting that. But if you're Cam and the Steelers need to make a move here, I think you could, break off of it a little bit and adjust it a little bit in order to make some room. Because if you're Cam Heyward, in my opinion, or any of these guys that are aging veterans on a team, make some room. Help your team out if you need to, because especially Cam, he doesn't have a Super Bowl. And I think that that's the last missing piece of his legacy, the last missing piece of this puzzle. And if Cam's out there listening and he's out there and he sees this video by some amazing chance, listen. Do what's necessary in order to gain that last thing. I don't want to see you take any type of massive pay cut or anything, but if there comes a time to where you have to adjust it in order to add a significant playmaker or add somebody along that defensive front to help you out, anything that would add value to this football team, I think you should do it. Because I think there is one piece left for Cam, and that is to win a Super Bowl, a championship, to hoist that Lombardi trophy. And I personally would love to see nothing more than Cam Heyward get to reach the mountaintop of pro football, go out as one of the guys that we all say, yeah, he was part of one of those teams. He's a championship guy. He won a ring. He's that dude, It just cements you in Steelers history forever. And again, guys, I know it is a very cloudy picture right now. And it is something that we definitely have to look at. And I think the team really has to consider. And that is considering life after Cam Heyward. And I know that that's rapidly approaching. It's sooner rather than later. But how soon will that be? You know, is 2024 his swan song? Is that his last dance with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Possibly. Do we see Cam again later down the road? I think it all really, again, guys, plays out to this year. And my question is, once Cam is able to hit free agency, would he be willing to give the Steelers a hometown discount in order to re-sign to finish his career? I think maybe. I think so. I think Cam would be willing to do that. You know, he has kids, he has a wife, he has a family. They're cemented inside of the Pittsburgh culture, the Pittsburgh community. And I think moving them away from that would be, you know, a tough decision to make. So I think there is a very good chance. But yet, if there is a team out there willing to separate with some big, big dollars, it's really hard to turn that down when you're looking to secure your future post-football in retirement. I mean, it's hard. He has to make business decisions too, and that's the biggest question too. Cam has to be a businessman. The Steelers have to be a business, a multi-billion-dollar business. They have to be able to do those things and separate feelings from those, especially when there's money involved. You have to be able to separate those feelings, and that is absolutely something that the Steelers have to look to and say to themselves, what do we do here? Is loyalty above all? Is loving Cam above all? It is a very, very difficult question, guys, and it has been bothering me a great deal this offseason because I feel when you come to the end of the career of some of these legends, some of these Steelers legends, or any team that you may root for, you start to see the end. The end is near, and it becomes difficult because you're just so used to seeing that player. So you're torn on where the franchise should go, where the organization should go moving forward. You know, you would like to see Cam back in the black and gold again in 2025. You would love to see him have a nice year here in 2024. You would love to see him, if he wants to play 3 years, you want them to be in Pittsburgh. But as a fan, you don't want to sacrifice your football team's chances of being good. You don't want to carry any sort of, for lack of a better term, dead weight or anything like that. I'm just saying if he is injured a lot or not produce in the way that they hoped or expect or need, I hate to use those words, dead weight. I think that that's not something that I would use to describe Cam Heyward in any capacity. But again, for lack of a better term, you don't want your franchise to have to carry any type of heavy load in terms of money for non-production. I mean, that's a business move, again. And that's something that you just don't want to see because you don't want to see this football team that's had, in my opinion, 2 solid drafts in a row. I know we have to see them play out here for a couple years. But at least from my eyes, I think they've had 2 solid drafts here right in a row. I think the window is open right now with a guy that's playing quarterback that has won a Super Bowl, played in a couple, has good experience. I think the window is open right now to make a couple more moves and really be ultra competitive and have a real chance to, win a championship, to be competitors inside of the AFC playoff race and really make a big run at it. And once you get a chip in a chair inside of the playoffs, you never know what can happen. So I don't want to see the window close out of being stubborn and being too loyal, but yet I don't want to see a legend go and be thrown on the trash heap. I don't want to see either of those. So in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers allow this to play out. I think they allow 2024 to play out and revisit things because I don't think that they're going to be able to figure it out here ahead of the season. Now, would I like it to be figured out? Yes. But if the Steelers do something, again, guys, I want them to have a deal in place to where they can get out of it. And I hate to say that because, again, it's Cam, a legend. I'm a huge fan of his. But I need the team to be able to be secure in their future and make the correct plans in order to be successful because that is the ultimate goal here. And, even if Cam would become a liability more than, something positive for the team, I mean, you have to let him go and you have to figure that out. So I would like to see the Steelers give themselves some outs and a deal. And I think they can make all that work. Again, I think he would adjust his salary and things of that nature as long as he's getting his money. I don't think that would be a problem. So, all right, guys, let's wrap it up here on a Thursday. I just wanted to give you my thoughts here on Cameron Heyward and where I think that situation still sits here as we rapidly approach July. And in July, guys, what do we got? Pittsburgh Steelers training camp, and things start to heat up for your Steelers. Yeah, we're about there, guys. So continue to be patient. Continue to soak in that Steelers content. And let's watch this team and watch Omar Khan work and see exactly how this team heads to camp. And will they be complete, or will they still have some additions and some holes that they need to figure out and fill? All right, man. We'll see you tonight for our live show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Mic Drop Sports. I'll be joined by your boy Sean tonight. We should have a great time, great conversation as always, and we will continue to pump it out, man, until the Pittsburgh Steelers get back to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and the storylines really start to unfold yet again. So until tonight, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace.